The landmark national security case, dubbed the Hong Kong 47 case, is the first case of conspiracy to subvert state power since the city's national security law came into force. It also involved the largest number of defendants, with 47 Democrats, and lasted more than 3 years, from arrest to sentencing.
The case began with a plan outlined by Benny Tai, a former associate professor of the Faculty of Law at the University of Hong Kong. In his roadmap, 10 Steps Towards Mutual Destruction, Tai proposed a strategy to shortlist the best candidates in an unofficial 35-plus primary elections that aimed to secure a majority of the Legislative Council's 70 seats for the pro-democracy camp at the 2020 LegCo election, so they can veto the government's budget twice, which they claim could lead to the resignation of the chief executive, which could in turn paralyze the government, triggering a political stalemate with a general strike as well as violent suppression by authorities. Prompting Western sanctions on Beijing, that plan Tai envisions could force the government to respond to the 5 demands from protesters. In September 2020, Tai said, "We will not be foolish enough to create an excuse for those in power to disqualify people who participate in the 35-plus project." During the coordination period, Benny Tai and some defendants failed to reach a consensus on whether to sign a statement to declare their stance. Eventually, 3 defendants, Owen Chow, Sam Chung, and Fergus Leung, drafted the declaration Resolute Resistance Aimed Without Regret, on which over 30 defendants signed. They include barrister turned ex-lawmaker Alvin Yeung of the Civic Party. All these culminated in a 2-day primary election held as scheduled more than a week after the passage of the national security law in 2020. More than 610,000 people cast their vote. Tai at the time said he didn't see how the polls constituted an illegal means according to Article 22 of the National Security Law, as such powers were conferred to the Legislative Council by the Basic Law. The Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office and the Liaison Office of the Central People's Government later issued a statement naming Benny Tai and groups including Power for Democracy also called the primary election illegal, saying it openly challenged the national security law. Soon, defendant and ex-lawmaker Au Nak Hin, as well as former convener of the Power for Democracy Andrew Chiu, announced their withdrawal from the cause. And Benny Tai said he would take a break. The Legislative Council election was delayed for a year due to the pandemic. The police's National Security Department arrested more than 50 people. Among them, 47 were charged with conspiracy to subvert state power. 31 of them, including Benny Tai, pleaded guilty, while 16 others pleaded not guilty. Barrister Lawrence Lau and Lee Yu-sun, a former Civic Party member, were acquitted of the charges. The remaining 14 were convicted. It has been more than 3 years since the arrests of some defendants. The Department of Justice has filed an appeal against Lau's acquittal. 8 defendants, including James To and Roy Kwong from the Democratic Party, were arrested in the same case. They have not been prosecuted so far.